It's Thursday, October 21st, and it's the day that Meghan McCain's audiobook, Bad Republican, is released. Um, Audio only, no print, because who reads anymore? Um, so you can expect for the next few days a chapter by chapter analysis of what Meghan has to write. We have not listened to it yet, but let's just talk for a second about the title, Bad Republican. Now, we can assume, Meghan, you chose the title Bad Republican because you're not a Trump loyalist, and that you would be seen by the majority of the Republican Party and the Trump loyalists as a bad Republican for not falling in line with their Führer. But that doesn't really make you a bad Republican. A bad Republican would be Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Josh Hawley, the people that were responsible for organizing and defending the terrorist attack on the Capitol on January 6th, in which they tried to actually overthrow our republic. That's a bad Republican. So I don't think you qualify in that sense. And I assume you were going for, to follow in the footsteps of your father, and emulate his maverick status, nickname, reputation, which he used, but was really more popularized and is almost more now associated with his choice for vice presidential running mate, Sarah Palin. So you can't really use Maverick in that sense. His choice, by the way, of your father to pick Sarah Palin really gave rise to this whole populist politician movement. It showed that someone with very little experience, but some good one-liners could really grab attention and make an impact, not necessarily at the polls, but in the zeitgeist, right? In the culture, in the conversation. So she really is sort of the rise of your Donald Trump's thinking about viability as a public official. Your Marjorie Taylor Greene's, your Lauren Boeberts, your idiots that don't know anything and don't want to actually help anyone, just get themselves a spot in government. Which you like, Meghan, because you like anybody who throws a wrench into the system. That's so helpful. So bad Republican. Yeah, we don't think you necessarily fit into the role of a bad Republican. In a lot of senses, you were a good Republican because you went on that national network daytime program that was always at or near the top of the ratings, and you spewed, ridiculous GOP talking points. In the last year, you helped spread misinformation about science, about vaccines, about mask wearing. You gave a lot of misinformation and misinterpretation ripped straight from the pages of the Federalist. How odd. Oh, not the pages, the web pages of the Federalist. Again, not in print. What do we have against words on paper? Although it does save the trees. So you're an environmentalist. So yeah, you did your job. You spread ridiculous lies. You spread mistrust of government, of institutions. You questioned the role of government. You liked to really bring up the nuance of an issue and try to divert all of the attention towards what the Democrats had or had not done, as opposed to how the GOP continually destroys the country. because you can't really defend that other than, small government. You know, small government and a capitalist economy with no regulation is slavery. If you leave it up to just the capitalists, we'd all be in camps. So I don't believe in your small government because I think we need to regulate a lot. Um, so anyway, it just turns out that being a bad Republican, like the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Josh Hawleys, the Matt Gaetz, is bad for America. But also being a good Republican, like what you actually have been, is bad for America. So I guess that leaves no really value in Republicans. Go figure. Okay. So we look forward to the 5 hours and 16 minutes of you yapping about yourself. And I'm sure your father, in that sing-songy voice. I'm going to put it on maybe a 1.5 speed so I can get through it a little quicker. But it's probably going to make you even more annoying. But here we go.